Guys, I think I've found the perfect person for me. Kaitlin Bennett is everything that I need in my life. I want you to know. 9/10 of my personality around her involves me making all manner of snarky witticisms, while the other 1/10 of it is reserved for dynamic facepalming. Which makes our relationship dynamic a perfect formula for entertaining commentary, don't you agree, folks? So let's dive in. Process begin. First, however, we need to go into some background information on the chick in an effort to establish a pattern of behavior that you'll soon come to recognize as the wrong way to engage in political activism. In 2017, Bennett was president of Turning Point USA, Kent State chapter, when they organized a protest in which students dressed as infants wearing diapers and everything. Quote, "We were being ridiculous and absurd, on purpose to showcase how adults look when they say words hurt their feelings." Oh, Kaitlin. Honey. You played yourself. Furthermore, on October 20th, the National TPUSA organization posted a statement on Twitter condemning the demonstration that had occurred at Kent State. Now, I wonder why on earth they would do such a thing. That's not what she's known for, however. That's just a little golden nugget that I found in doing my due diligence while in the field. That is, on the internet, Googling her. May 13th, 2018, Bennett had just graduated from Kent State when she posted the following tweet. "Now that I graduated from Kent State, I can finally arm myself on campus. I should have been able to do so as a student, especially since 4 unarmed students were shot and killed by the government on this campus. Hashtag campus carry now." Her dedication to her libertarian activism launched her into the political spotlight entirely.
So they're saying that I have white privilege for going out on campus with my AR-10. They are saying that this all has to do about me being white, that I was able to do this. I think that's very insulting to minorities. I don't think that anything bad would happen to them. I actually had a black police officer with me the whole time that was just, he loved it. So, it's just insulting.
But that was many, many moons ago at this point. Let's see what she's been up to since her 15 minutes of fame. You ever come across somebody who takes their Second Amendment right, that is, the right to keep and bear arms, arms being the big bad devices meant for defense by means of threatening the lives of other individuals who would seek to do you harm, you know, something that is meant to be taken seriously, handled by adults who have grasped the full gravity of the devices they are wielding and the awesome power they have, and hence the responsibility that person has? Yeah, arms. That's what we're talking about. Have you ever met someone who takes that right and turns it into the object of pettiness and the literal embodiment of cutting off your nose to spite your face? I just have to say this. People who would carry their arms around their neck in public in an act of defiant protest rather than holstering it at their hip or putting it away in their respective cases as a tool of defense. That's what we're talking about here, lads. This display of power for the sake of a statement. I don't know about other gun owners, but as someone who is looking to purchase a firearm in the near future, I think that part of the responsibility of owning a firearm is knowing that it is a tool of self-defense rather than a photo accessory to make a bold statement and own the libs. Please, yes, feel free to continue owning and triggering the libtards by means of making a bold photo op statement. I'm sure that eventually, if you walk around the streets wielding guns all willy-nilly like, the libtards will eventually come around to accepting your Second Amendment right, and they'll feel a lot more comfortable about it. Now let's talk about PETA, an organization that has had absolutely no trouble making themselves look like imbeciles already. Exhibit A. Let's give them some peak intellectually stimulating ideas to ruminate on. Why don't we? Take 100. Here we go. When you cried, I'd wipe away all of your tears. When you'd scream, I'd fight away all of your fears. I held your hand through all of these years. I can't remember these words. You're just gonna have to bear with it. I'm not doing this one more time, alright? Deal with it. And they say that the left can't meme? Oh, please. There are some right-wingers out there that leave something to be desired. I will attest. Now, I'm not one to usually see color, and in this case, doing so is apparently meant to make all the difference, because, I mean, when you're sporting a t-shirt with the same logo of the people who you are trying to protest, it strikes me as lazy opposition. Seriously, Katie. Whoever thought one could own the commies by wearing their symbol was sorely mistaken. Quote, what if I ran for president against AOC in 2032? This is the election America really needs. Boy, if that were to happen, I think I've never been more disenthused at the prospect of something coming to fruition in my entire life. Try again, Katie, please and thank you. I'd sooner Lauren Chen run for president, and she wouldn't even qualify. One like and retweet equals one prayer for the millions of gun owners who lost their bump stocks in a tragic boating accident.
I am so sorry to report that his bump stock was lost in a tragic boating accident, and he won't be able to turn it in to the federal government. For just 30 cents a day, you can donate to help the federal government confiscate other people's property to save the children.
I get the intention here, but I can't honestly say that anything you post to the internet actually benefits anything that you're throwing your weight behind. And that's a goddamn shame, because you had a voice, Katie. You had a voice. For 15 seconds, you actually had a point to make. Quote, it's Merry Christmas, not Happy Holidays. Quit being a bunch of PC pansies. Here's my Christmas present to everyone. Does anyone else remember when the Libertarian Party actually stood for free market principles, civil rights, personal freedoms, non-intervention, peace, and free trade? Because I do. I mean, I certainly don't mean to be a stickler for party adherence and talking points, but this is what Katie signed up for when she joined up with the gang. Am I right? I guess I could also tell Katie to quit being a pansy in the same sense, seeing as how electing to not say Happy Holidays falls well within the scope of personal freedoms. It strikes me as pandery. I can't help it. It does. In case anyone is wondering what to get me for Christmas, I wear a size 308. I'm not convinced the way that Katie purports her image online that she, in fact, is a responsible gun owner, so please no one comply with her wish list. Guess which one leftists will body shame. You know, I'm more than happy to do both, Katie. You ramen, harebrained, trigger thought, gun bunny. And you can take that to the bank. Rifles and heels. My two favorite things. She is one financial endorsement away from sticking that gun into her thigh pant hole of her leotard for a photo op. I swear. What's this? An actual opinion. Quote, honestly, I'm so sick of all of the George Bush virtue signaling. You can feel for his family and friends without having to put his legacy on a higher pedestal than it should be. There's a reason he only served one term. He was an awful president, a liar, and a warmongerer. Oh, and see, I thought for a hot second that she was about to be likable. Silly me. Speaking of likable personalities, quote, went through TSA with my hashtag MAGA hat on to remind people that their jobs are disposable and they're not essential. Their paychecks come from someone else's paychecks. What a world we live in where we accept that. Abolish the TSA. Hashtag taxation is theft. I get it. All right? I do. No one likes the TSA as an organization. We could probably do without them, but goddamn, woman, do you have to be such a pretentiously rude asshole to people who are just doing their jobs every day. Jobs that probably involve dealing with a lot of people with a constitution as pleasant as your own. Need I remind you, Katie, Twitter e-thoughts with no personality other than gun heart eyes emoji also are disposable and non-essential. Pot. Meat kettle. Enjoying a nice cup of liberal tears at the beach to celebrate my president's birthday. Happy birthday at Real Donald Trump. This one's for the haters and losers. Also, I just gotta point out, for those of you who are less observant, Katie here is literally violating the US flag code, subsection B, which says the flag should never touch anything beneath it, such as the ground, the floor, water, or merchandise. I mean, technically, you can kind of tell it's a towel American flag intended for such use, but I mean, a staunch patriot and Second Amendment activist such as herself, Katie should know that this isn't gonna fly well with her audience, so she's not doing a very good job pandering in this instance. I just thought I'd mention that. I don't want to be the one to tell people how to do the internet, but I can tell you right now, this is not the way. This hurts your cause more than anything. I understand that it might seem like I'm playing the role of hypocrite in this instance, seeing as I myself partake in ponage culture of the lip cucks and the contards from time to time. But that's the kicker, all right? I do it from time to time. It's not my entire personality. In addition to that, it's usually directed at individuals rather than a group. Or there is a direct cause for why I am owning lib cucks and contards. The satire in such instances is usually so palpable that you have to be willfully looking for something to be pissy about in order to miss it. Making political statements is fine. It is absolutely fine. Doing so at the expense of a group of people is fine. Absolutely fine. I stand by that. But Kaitlin Bennett is an example of a tragic case of someone who was seduced by their own big-brained fame, and that is unfortunate. What I mean by this is that she could have effectively had a bright future on the national stage, making changes and having important conversations. But Katie is not a person anymore. Not that I can see. She's a brand. And what's worse is that she's a cringy brand on par with, you know, pussy hats and PETA demonstrations that no one will ever take seriously and hurts their own cause more than anything. But mostly, Katie is just really, really annoying. Guess what time it is? Mail time. So this one is from Dan Fullman, and it's just a letter. Oh, before I read the letter, he decorated the outside of the card with peeps, and then said, hanging with the peeps. So that's adorable. So we have a nice bunny card. Aw. Happy Easter, Dan. Aw, look at that. Nice, cute drawing. I like it. I like it a lot. And then, black card, in addition. Woohoo. Okay, Miss Weebo Jones, I'm learning to use watercolors and I wanted to make you this card to thank you for all the hard work you do. Try not to let the creeps and the trolls get you down. There are just a few of them, but they are loud. That's what that says. A lot more of us enjoy your work. We are just quieter. Merch idea, a parody of a rock concert t-shirt. The front of the shirt says Weebo Jones Bodily Injury Tour 2019. On the back of the t-shirt, instead of tour dates and cities, have a list of dates and injuries. Thanks again, Dan. April 11th, 2019. Oh. Well, that would be an interesting merchandising idea. I'll look into it. I have a few things, actually. I just got a drawing tablet so that I can crank out some interesting merch ideas in my own hand. So we'll see about that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for everything that you send me in the mail. It always brings me so much joy because I love getting mail. That's the whole reason I opened up the P.O. box, just because I wanted to get more letters. Anyway, until next time, chaps. Peace.